What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Uncle Fred coming back. It's the third Saturday in October. You know what that means. When you hear this right here, when you hear this right here, all right. I ain't got the rights to that, so I don't want to get no trouble. But you know what the time it is? Third Saturday in October. It's Alabama versus Tennessee. And this is my first preview of the college football season for 2021. And what better way to start it with a border rivalry, Alabama versus Tennessee. And let's go ahead and get this thing started. We know this is a border rivalry that's been in effect since, I don't know, 1901. And this is like the 104th edition of it. And up until now, I think Crimson Tide got a 57, 37, and 8 advantage. So we got like a 20-game advantage on y'all. So you know what time it is. You know, I got my garb on. What they say? Alabama, this says National Champions 2020. Yeah, that's what time it is. So I'm definitely representing today. But Alabama comes in at 6-1, ranked 4th nationally. Had a little setback a few weeks back with Texas A&M. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Tennessee coming in at 4-3. They got high hopes. They got big ambitions. But you know what's going to really happen. You know it's going to be the same thing that's been happening since 2007. Ever since Nick stepped out onto the capstone. All right, y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? All right, let's just go through them. I'm gonna give y'all some real analysis too. But you know I gotta hype y'all up first. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, because you know we do Crimson Tide right here. We do Crimson Tide because that's the only way to roll. It's with the Crimson. That's the only way. Ain't no other way. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're a Tide fan, I need to give me a roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Get it with me. Roll Tide. Sing it with me. Roll Tide. All right, y'all. Let's get down to some business here. All right. So here we go. We got Tennessee coming in. They 4-3. And they doing kind of good this year. They dropped a heartbreaker last week to Ole Miss, 31-26. Man, in overtime. Did it get to overtime? I thought it was overtime. But all I know, the game was marred by some golf ball throwing, bottle throwing at Lane Kiffin, because you know Lane Kiffin kind of played him dirty. You know, back in 2011. You know, he was coach of Tennessee and left them to go to USC. So, you know, there was some bad blood going on there. So, you know, they end up winning the game, you know, late. You know, Tennessee had a chance to tie the game up. And I think Herndon, I think that's his name, the quarterback, got hurt. They went back to Joe Milton III, who was the starter at the initial of the season. And he proved to be, sort of unsuccessful. And so they, they went with Herndon. Yeah, that's kind of hard to say together. And so anyway, they went with Joe Milton, and he got them close. But then he, on like 3rd, 4th down, and like a couple of seconds left, he kind of just ran out of bounds. I don't know what he was thinking there, but needed a touchdown. He was down 31-26. I thought they had a chance. But they didn't. But anyway, and like I said, after the game, the Vols faithful were not too pleased with Lane Kiffin and everything. He got hit a couple times with golf. Well, it was an ugly scene, real ugly. And I'm sure there's some things the NCAA is going to do to step in on that, whatever. But now they travel down to the capstone. They travel down to Tuscaloosa, and let's see what's going on here. Tennessee comes in 4-3. Offensively, they've been doing pretty good there, averaging 39 points a game, giving up 23 amongst the, I guess you can see the weaker sisters of the college football world. But against the power conferences, they played some Bowling Green and some other schools and whatnot, and was able to hold them to not a whole lot of points. But when they played some of the power schools, they've given up a little more. They've given up 30. So, but yeah, I guess the Power 5 schools. So they're led. Their offense is led by Hendon Hooker. I had his name all wrong. It's Hendon Hooker. All right. He comes in with 1,296 yards passing and 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. One interesting thing about Tennessee, this whole season, they've played 7 games. They've not thrown but 1 interception all season. So, so whatever they're doing, they're taking good care of the football. First year coach Josh Heupel he takes over the reins this year. Josh Heupel, if many may not remember, used to be I thought it was a Heisman front runner back in 2001. Bob Stoops his only national championship back in 2000 over Florida State. Josh Heupel really, with that Oklahoma team, really kind of instituted with this spread offense that we run today. That was kind of the precursor to it, to the offenses that we run today with Josh Heupel. And they was wide open, man. They had guys going all everywhere, man. That was a very exciting team. But Josh Heupel takes over as the head coach now of the Tennessee Vols. And like I said, Herndon Hooker is the quarterback. And so he also has 89 carries for 390 yards and 4 touchdowns. So realistically, he's responsible for like 1,700 yards and like 21 touchdowns. So he's not been, he's been not too shabby at the quarterback position. And but I think he comes in a little hurt today. And Josh Heupel's being real mum about who's going to start for him today. So which he should be, because that's gamesmanship. You don't tell everybody who's playing. Jerry Jones. Do not tell guys who's hurt, who's not. Let them prepare for everybody. That's gamesmanship. That's what you do. But anyhow, this is so anyway. They come in with him, and then behind Tennessee also boasts a number 6 rated rush offense, averaging like I want to say it's like 249 yards a game. So they potentially could pose a problem, because we have kind of been having some issues up the middle, especially with the defense that we're running. They're running the same defense that we're running, a 4-2-5, which is kind of a defense that's aimed at trying to stop the spread offense. And it's sort of like, it's not as heavy in the interior lineman, but more guys spread on the second level and the third level. They kind of take away those intermediate zones. So what they call the RPOs, the run pass option, where you can run and pass it, or based on what the alignment, you can run it. But those little short intermediate zones is what usually is vulnerable. So they kind of put this defense together to kind of stop that. And remember, a couple of weeks ago when we played Ole Miss, they were really implementing that. Actually, theirs was more like a 3-3-6 or whatever, 3-2-6 or something like that. And so we just ran the football on them, and that's what you do. And you're hoping that the team doesn't, is patient and would run the football, and won't run the football and try to, force the ball downfield into coverage. That's what you're hoping. But we ran the football. We ran the ball like 35 times. I think my man B. Rob had like 30 carries for like 170 yards and like 3-4 touchdowns in that game. So you have to, football is the ultimate chess game. So they're going to probably come at us because we're a little light in the middle and try to run the ball down our throat. And I hope our guys is ready for that. So they're coming with that. On the receiving end, they're coming at you with a dude named Velas Jones, who's coming in with 28 catches for 435 and 5 touchdowns. That's about like 17 yards a catch. Not too shabby. And then on the other side, you got Cedric Tillman coming in with 23 for 294 and 3. That's like, like 12, 13 yards, 14 yards a catch. He more possession. Velas Jones is more like the big play guy, and sort of like what we've got, with Williams and Mechie. So you got a big play, then you got a possession or dependable third down chain mover. You need both of them. Both your guys can't be speed big play guys, and both your guys can't be underneath guys. Somebody's got to stretch the defense to let the other guys run underneath. It's a chess game, I'm telling you. It's a chess game. So, so they pose some threats to us. They kind of do in so many ways. Like I said, they're better offensively than they have been in previous years. I will say that. So, and in certain ways, especially up the middle, we're a little more vulnerable than we have been in certain areas. Now, we're pretty good on the outside and the edges, but not so much up the middle, as we saw in the Florida game. They was able to gash us. And I didn't like seeing that, man. I was like, come on, man. Y'all got to bow up, man, and not stay blocked. Get in them lanes and stay in your rush lanes. So on defense, like I said, they run a 4-2-5, pretty much like we do, but they kind of do it with bigger ends than we do. We rush the ends with smaller pass rushers than they do, but they do it their way and we do it our way. And but a guy you might want to pay attention to on their defense is a dude named Jalen McCullough, in a secondary. He is got 3 interceptions, and he also has 20 solo tackles and everything. And also you want to look at the linebacker junior linebacker Jeremy Banks. Now I'm wondering if he's related to the defensive coordinator, and I want to say his name is I wrote it down. I write down stuff. Sometimes I didn't think I was going to use that. Tim Banks, and I'm wondering is he related to him? And but anyhow, they Jeremy Banks is a junior linebacker. He has 4.5 sacks. He has 48 tackles, and he's like one of their defensive stars. So when we're running the ball up the middle and we're throwing the ball in the intermediate zones, Jeremy Banks will be there, and that's the guy that you're gonna kind of be looking for, from what Tennessee's presenting to us from a defensive perspective. And also Aaron Beasley, also a junior linebacker. Okay, he's got 41 total tackles. So Beasley and Banks, Killer Bees, those are guys we got to watch for. And Jalen McCullough in the secondary. You got 3. And I imagine he's going to be lined up on Jameson Williams. I would imagine, because he's our big play guy, and you want to put your big play corner on that guy. So that's what we got. And then up the middle, when we try to run the ball, you're going to be meeting a dude named Elijah Simmons. Okay, Elijah Simmons is like 6'4" and like 350. All right, and he don't have maybe 7 or 8 solo tackles, but he's one of those guys that plugs that middle. So when guys or teams try to run on that 4-2-5, he's the guy, the DT, that plugs that middle where the offensive lineman can't get to the second level. Not trying to get too technical on you, but that's his mission. So when Brian Robinson's trying to run up the middle, this is the guy that those guys are going to have to block and get him, because you don't want to be running into a 350-pound guy. So that's what we got on that. So those are the challenges they present to us, Tennessee presents to us. Now as far as us, we come into this thing, with we coming into this thing with a little bit of flair, a little bit of, a little bit of moxie. We coming into it, kind of strong. Alabama's coming into the game. We're 6-1. We're averaging 319 yards a game passing, and which is like 19th in the country, 13th, excuse me. And then we're also running it for 166 yards in the country, which is 62nd in the country. Now I know the old heads probably turning over in their graves. Alabama throwing the ball for 300 yards and running it for 160 when it's supposed to be the other way around, But this is a new day. This is the day of no huddle, spread offenses, run pass options, all that stuff, and empty backfields, and it's shotgun formation on every snap. It's a different game than Bear Bryant and Gene Stallings It's a whole different ball game now. But yeah, but we're averaging 329 in the air and 166 on the ground. Okay. My man Bryce Young, first year starting. I cannot tell you how pleased I am with his poise and his patience and his never seems to be rattled mentality. Now he's a first year starter. He's got 100,000 things coming at him, but he just sits there and just, pocket collapsing. I'm gonna sit here, make my throws to the tune of 2,082 yards passing. And that's only in 6 games. Like I said, that's where that 329 a game is coming from. 24 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. In my opinion, considering if we continue to win at the clip that I expect us to, that's the man I put as the front runner for the Heisman. Bryce Young for Heisman. I'm your campaign manager. I'm pushing that objective. Bryce Young for Heisman. 2,082 yards, 24 touchdowns, 3 picks. And I look for him to even add to those totals today. In the backfield, we know our backfield has kind of been hit by the injury bug, but we're anchored by B-Rob, who waited his chance, waited behind Damian Harris, waited behind Najee Harris, waited behind Josh Jacobs. He's a local kid from Tuscaloosa, and you're happy for that kid. He actually got an opportunity to wait his turn, and play sparingly up until now. Now he gets his time to shine. Now it's his backfield. He's coming in with 116 carries for 599 yards and 8 touchdowns. And remember that 171-yard game he had against Ole Miss a couple of weeks ago. That's key. And he's backed up by Roydell Williams, who's got 37 carries for 235 and a touchdown. Now, Roydell was the guy in the Miami game. His first carry, fumbled the football, and they took him right out. Now, hopefully he's learned his lesson, and they were trying to tell him, look, man, this running back field. And at the time, we had him, we had Jace McClellan, we had Trey Sanders. It was a crowded running back room. But it's a funny thing as the season go on, how attrition and injuries kind of make things to pool out. So we know Jace McClellan and Trey Sanders are both. Jace McClellan's out for the season. Trey Sanders, I think there's a possibility we might get him back. Okay, and we'll kind of see about that. But he's come back and he's played well for us in our backfield. Now in the wide receivers. In the wideouts, we led by Jamison Williams in terms of big play. Jamison Williams, now he's a transfer from Ohio State. Now I think he might have had some attitude issues. I've seen him have some little dust ups on the field, getting unsportsmanlike conduct things when he didn't get a penalty or something he didn't thought. And of course, Nick gave him the ride act on the sideline because we don't roll like that. We roll Tide. We don't roll with a lot of this extra stuff. You got to model yourself after Devontae Smith, who just left us. Just did his business. Don't say nothing. Just produce. That's what we do. We don't get caught up in the emotional stuff. We play football. That's what we do. We don't get caught up in that. Maybe that's why he fell in the depth chart at Ohio State. But you come in here, you got to adapt to what we do, and that's how we roll. But this guy, I've seen that guy in I'm trying to figure what game it was. He had a 90-yard touchdown catch, and he just runs away from guys. I don't know what he's timed at in the 40, but I ain't seen nobody catch him from behind yet. Jamison has got 29 catches for 589 yards and 6 touchdowns. Also had a couple of against Southern Miss, had a couple of kickoff returns also in that game. I mean, he's big play, man. He's big play. Big play Jay. That's what they may call him. That's just something I came up with. I ain't heard that nowhere. I just mean. But he's averaging a whopping 20.2 yards per catch. I mean, so that's why I say this McCullough kid is Jalen McCullough. Yeah, he's going to be on that guy, But I think Jamison's going to do what he do, And then behind him on the other side, we got the reliable, the trustworthy John Mechie, who's got 41 catches. He's leading us in catches, 41 for 480 and 3 touchdowns. That's only 11.8 yards a catch, but he's steady. And usually early in the game, we use him to set up the stuff. He usually gets that first touchdown and gets the ball rolling, So I love John Mechie for his steadiness. He kind of is sort of like the Devontae Smith in his steady, workmanlike approach to the game and whatnot. And then if you want the fireworks, you go to the other side to number 1, Jameson. So we go to number 8, we get reliability, we get good hands, we get move the chains and keep and get us in the right place, sits down in that zone just right, and he keeps the chain. Just as reliable receiver as you can find in college football, John Mechie. Love me some John Mechie. All right. And then we got Slay Bolden, who's our slot guy, and he's steady, coming in with 17 catches, 173 yards and a touchdown. And then on from our tight ends, we got Latu, who's got a couple of touchdowns. Cameron Latu, and then we got Jamelle Billingsley. Now, this is a guy who he comes in with 10 catches for 178 yards, which is 17.8, which is big for a tight end. You usually don't see tight ends averaging 17 yards a catch. Okay, that just shows you the big playability Jamelle Billingsley had. Now, if he can stay out of Nick Saban's doghouse, and because there's always he's not playing the first half because of some conduct or something, some unspecified violation or something. Look, it's Alabama. You play by the rules. You stay in good, everything good. You try to run and buck the system, it don't work. It don't roll. Everybody can't play for the Crimson Tide. I'm just gonna lay that out there. It ain't for everybody. All right. If you are individualist and you want to toot your own horn and do it, may not be the place for you. So, but Jamelle Billingsley is talent. He's one of the most talented tight ends we've seen, along the lines of Irv Smith and OJ Howard. He's on the same level with them. He's a little smaller than them because I think OJ is like 250. This guy's like 235, 240. It's smallish side. It gives him more quickness, but he also has 2 touchdowns this year. But yeah, if he can stay out of Nick Saban's doghouse, Jamelle Billingsley, will make plays, man. I love Jamelle Billingsley for his skill level. Gotta get that attitude under control. That's what we don't roll with that. Right here, repping this right here. We don't roll like that. And then we got B-Rob, who slides out of the backfield and is very effective on third down, very effective as a safety valve. He's got 13 catches for 145 yards, which is, that's like 11 yards a catch. That's pretty good for a back coming out the backfield. Okay, that's real good. So B-Rob is real effective. And what we're really seeing with this, you got 29 catches for Jameson. You got 41 for Mechie. You got 10 for Billingsley. You got 17 for Slay Bolden. You got 13 for Bill. You see a spreading of the offense. And it's like, we just kind of throw it to who's open. And so I like the spreading of it. That way you don't have no one set guy we're throwing the ball to. Everybody can hurt you. And the more options you have, the better your offense is. And so we were able to do that. But a guy I want y'all to start paying attention to, because I'll be seeing him flash every time, and then they got him on kickoffs and stuff. And I said, this guy gonna break one before this season's over with. And that's that number 10, JoJo Earl. Watch out for this kid, JoJo Earl. I got a feeling about JoJo. Okay, got a feeling about old JoJo Earl, man. I think he's got 12 catches for 148 yards. Like I said, he's got some decent returns, but he looks like he's just about to break one, and then he gets tackled. But watch out for JoJo Earl. I think JoJo Earl's gonna have one of them games somewhere here along the lines and whatnot. So those are the guys we looking for. Now, on our defense, our defense is led by our everything Will Anderson Jr., best linebacker in the country, in my opinion. 7.5 sacks. Sophomore. Oh my gosh, how much better can this kid get, man? But yeah, Will Anderson Jr. is a bad boy, man. And he's got I think he's got 48 tackles and 7.5 sacks. And then he, as far as pass rushing, him and Christian Harris, they do. I know he's kind of been injured in and out, but Christian Harris, him and those two linebacker, and of course we're missing Christopher Allen. We lost him first game of the season. Man, that when you're talking about some guys that can get after guys, but prayers up to for Christopher Allen to get healthy soon, man, because we need you, man. But man, dang, what we're missing with that guy out. But anyhow, we're also in the middle. We got Henry Cho. I can't say that right. but he's a transfer from Tennessee. So you think there may be some anxiety, some, maybe some trash talking, maybe some hard feelings or something going on with this game. He's going against the team he transferred from. Teal, I think that's how they pronounce him. But he's got 54 solo tackles and a sack, and so yeah, he's I know I ain't saying his name right. Y'all get off of me, all right? But he's a bad boy, man. I like Henry. He can roll. And then in our secondary, led by Jordan Battle. Jordan Battle's got like 28 total tackles, 40 total tackles, 2 interceptions, including last week getting that pick 6 against Mississippi State. We beat them 49-9. That was real impressive running up against that air raid offense that my man runs. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Y'all know I can't think of stuff like I used to. Y'all get my age and let me know how that is. All right. But anyhow, they like to throw the ball 60 and 70 times a game. So that's really tough on your D-line. It's tough on your secondary because you got to cover 60, 70 times a game. But he had a pick 6 in that game. And also DeMarco Hellams, he's also got like 38 tackles and two INTs. And then 2 guys I want y'all to be looking for is my man Josh Jobe. Josh Jobe has got 18 tackles. He's got an interception also. And then also this kid right here, he got an interception. He's a freshman, but he coming in with a lot of hype. That's my boy JaQuincy McKinstry. But just call him man Kool-Aid. Just call him Kool-Aid. With this Neil, the name, image, and likeness thing going on. I hope he's got some sort of thing going on with Kool-Aid, because that's what they call him. He only got like about 7 or 8 tackles, but he got an interception though. He got an interception. And this kid he's a kind of a local kid. He's from Birmingham, but JaQuincy McKinstry. Watch out for that kid right there, Kool-Aid, man. Look out for Kool-Aid, and look for that dude having some sponsorship from that. Of course, I don't know about Kool-Aid, but that's kind of like not a good drink to be drinking nowadays. With the people being as health conscious as they are. But dude, make your money, bro. Make your money. We don't know how long you can play this game. Make as much money as you can. But them some of the guys we looking for to have a great game in today's game. That's who we look for to make plays. And now, this thing is called a rivalry. Now, I don't have much. I'm about to close this thing down. And they call it a rivalry. The orange and the white, Rocky Top, all that foolishness. But I want y'all to know that since one Nick Saban stepped onto the scene back in 2007. Do you know that we have not lost a game to the Vols? Not a single game. And just to show you how this thing has been, like I said, we got a 57, 38, and 7 record against them, in 101 meetings. So we was almost like at 500, like even Steven, until Nick Saban showed on the scene. It's like, no. Let's get this thing back the way it used to be, like when Bear had it, when we was beating them every year. All right. Last time we lost them was back in 06. That's Mike Schuler's last year. We lost them 16-13. And that, I don't know if that's what got him fired, if it was losing to Auburn or whatever it is, they got him up out of there. And then comes Nick Saban, ride onto the prairie, and so since then, let me run down some of the scores from 2007 until now, okay? Just to show you what he has done and the kind of dominance that we have exhibited in this rivalry, okay? Just to show y'all what we've done. 2007, we roll up 41-17, all right? That's what I'm talking about. First year, let's let them know we ain't scared. We own y'all. This thing is over. This rivalry is over. 2008. 29-9, okay? 2008, excuse me. 2009, 12-10. That was a close one. That was when Lane Kiffin was the head coach of Tennessee, and it took a Terrence Cody block of a field goal, because they could have won that thing 13-12. That would have derailed our whole national championship hopes, because we ended up winning the national championship going 14-0 in 2009 and winning Nick's first championship at Alabama. But we win that game 12-10, and it was one of them kind of games. And then we go on to 2010 to kind of right the ship. We get them 41-10. Okay, 2011, 37-6. 2012, 44-13. 2013, 45-10. Okay, you getting the pattern here? 2014, 34-20. Now, that was the Amari Cooper day. I got to talk Amari Cooper because he also plays for my Dallas Cowboys. Amari Cooper, he had 9 catches for 224 yards and 2 touchdowns if you need him. That was the Amari Cooper game, 34-20. And Blake was the quarterback then, and then, of course, now 2015, another 19-14. And of course, now that Tennessee team, let me tell you something, the guys, that team, that 15 team that Tennessee had on that team, they had Josh Dobbs, who's in the NFL, and running back, they had Jalen Hurd, who's in the NFL, plays for the 49ers, and at wide receiver / running back, Alvin Kamara. Ever heard of him? He's in the NFL. So that just lets you know what kind of talent they were throwing out there. Josh Dobbs, Jalen Hurd, and Alvin Kamara. So, when they had the talent, they kind of stuck with us. So it's 19-14, we win that, we move on. 2016, Jalen's first year, 49-10. Jalen had like 300 yards of offense, 172 passing, 132 rushing, and about 4 touchdowns. That was Jalen's first year. Then the next year, 45-7, okay? 2018, Tua's first year, 58-17. Tua, he ain't have to do him like that. Good gosh. 58 to 21. 2019, 35-13. And the only reason that one was close because Tua got hurt in the third quarter, and you end up having to go with Mac Jones. But Mac Jones ended up being that bad dude, but he got pressed in the service, and I think he threw a pick or something in that game, and they kind of, but we was rolling. It was 35-13. And then last year, 48-17, Mac Jones threw a party on him, 48-17. So as you notice, this thing really ain't been a robbery. We averaging about 44 points a game and giving up about, 16, something like that. It ain't been no robbery. So don't y'all get y'all hopes up thinking y'all finna do something. Because it's roll tide all day, baby. Roll tide all day. So, of course, now, the whole thing about this game, about what we're doing today, you want a prediction. Tennessee's got all this offensive firepower they're rolling in with, okay? They got all this stuff that they're rolling in with, all right? And improved defense, okay? They're better than they've been in years past. So, they're gonna play. They're gonna be a nail biter, right? Whatever. Crimson Tide 48, Vols 13. That's right. I said that 35-point win, 48-13, and all day long. You know what you're gonna be hearing? You know what y'all gonna be hearing? That's what y'all gonna be hearing. Every touchdown. All right, that's enough of that. Like I said, I don't got the rights to that. I was trying to shut that down. I don't want to be getting no envelope. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Roll Tide. We're gonna roll over the Tennessee Vols today, and we're gonna do our thing, and then we're moving and progressing through another natty, because that's what we do. We stack natties. Some folks just stack division wins. They stack conference wins. We stack natties. Okay, that's what we're rolling for. Another one of these. We stack natties. All right. So that's all I got from the desk of Uncle Fred doing his initial Crimson Tide pump-up video preview for the Tennessee guy. There's a third Saturday in October. We know what that all means. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Roll Tide, baby. That's what it's going to be. Roll Tide all day long, baby. Uncle Fred out.